Fisayo Fesudo, a renowned visual storyteller and finance and technology video producer with over 670,000 subscribers. Fisayo has gained recognition for his engaging content on mobile technology and personal finance, and he has collaborated with some of the biggest brands. His award-winning work continues to inspire and educate, making tech accessible for all. Let's welcome Fisayo Fosudo. We are privileged to have with us Kayode Okikiolu, a trailblazing media innovator and TV anchor with Channels Television. With over a decade of broadcasting experience, Kayode has co-hosted shows like Sunrise Day and Politics Today, and currently anchors The Morning Brief. Known for simplifying complex news into engaging content, he is a passionate advocate for youth issues and good governance. Kayode holds a degree in psychology from the University of Ibadan and is an associate of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management. Let's welcome Kayode Okikiolu.
Amazing.
All right, let's put our hands together one more time for our panelists. All right, and it's quite interesting because I've known both of them for a few years now. All right, so I'll start with Kayode. Right, so this is about AI and media, right? And on one hand, we're looking at broadcasting, journalism. On another hand, we're looking at content creation, right? We know that AI is everywhere. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of buzz. But we also know that it has enough transformative power. And media is one of the places where we actually see its impact. Right. So my question for you would be how AI is changing the journalism landscape. What are some of the trends and the changes we're starting to see? Kayode, that's for you.
All right. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. It's great to be here. Full disclosure, I'm just here for the cool tech talk and maybe for the food. I'm not really the tech guy, so I'm here to learn from all of you, right? So as you were talking, Ayo, I just put your question in my AI assistant because we're here for AI, right? So this is the answer to your question. Are you guys clapping for me or for my AI assistant? Both of us. Great. So this is what my assistant has to say. Automated reporting, data analysis, fact-checking, personalized content, enhanced storytelling, etc. But the point is this. It sort of just frees your brain to do other things, right? I didn't have to use my brain matter, which, by the way, has been depleted over the past few months because of the work I do. So that helps me reduce the pressure on my brain. Take, for example, I go to cover a story, and I'll just give you a simple use case. By the way, journalists are celebrities. I know you don't regard us as celebrities, but we are, because we're responsible for the breaking stories that get millions of views, you know, the videos and stuff, but you don't see us, you just see the stories. So imagine a whole star boy journalist or star girl journalist goes out to cover a story, interviews someone, either video or audio recording, right? And gets back to the newsroom, and then you have to transcribe. The whole star boy, you have to sit down in the newsroom and transcribe. And then when you're done transcribing, you look for the headline, you look for a caption, you look for illustrations. I'm talking 4 hours. And people need that news, right? But you're still stuck trying to figure out how to present it to the people. Then you have to fact check. Because a politician said that they built 200 schools in a local government. So you have to fact check again. So you don't go out there, put it there, and people abuse you, that you're part of the problem. 4 hours, 5 hours, and the news is not out yet. Eventually, the news has to go through your editor, right, who then goes through it and says, you know what, let's change this. Let's change the headline because this will appeal to people. Point is, all of that is stressful. So AI sort of helps you to reduce that pressure so you can have time to do more good stuff, more creative stuff, and have time for yourselves as well. Yesterday, I got home early, and I caught grasshoppers with my daughter. I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was stuck at work all day. even though the grasshopper is dead because we couldn't feed the grasshopper. But the point is, it gives you time for work. You're able to do more creative stuff and also time for yourself. So I think that it's changing a lot. Maybe we'll get deeper into it as the time goes on. But basically, it reduces the pressure on our brain. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Very, very insightful. And so to Fisayo, I noticed in recent time, I mean, you've been talking a little about artificial intelligence, and integrating that into what you do. How do you see it changing content creation? I mean, in the world we live in now, we have tools like Midjourney, Kling AI, video generation tools. At the click of a button, with a very simple prompt, you're good to go. How do you see it changing the work you do, content creation? Okay.
So, hi everyone. It is a huge honor to be here. I didn't know there would be this many, but I'm a bit shy, so forgive me. So, to your question, this is a very interesting topic because I've been making videos for 7 years now, and in this time, let's look at it like this. Many years ago, many people would not imagine that they would have a job called social media creator or like influencer or something like that. There are people today that do this job, aka me, and I have like 5 people that work for us, and we pay them every month. And it's all because this guy decided to say, "Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel." And you never imagine that this would be a career path. What I'm saying now is everyone should embrace this. Everyone should embrace AI. Everyone should understand AI. Everyone should incorporate it into what they're doing in some way. You don't have to take, you also have to fact check sometimes. AI can hallucinate, but you have to incorporate it or learn about it, or else you'll be left behind. And I'm seeing this in content with video. OpenAI has Sora. It's not out for the public yet, but it can generate videos and they would look lifelike. There's obviously ChatGPT for writing and many chatbots. Meta has theirs in WhatsApp, that's what Kayode used just now. There's also for pictures like DALL-E, Midjourney, and the rest of them. I was fortunate to speak with Google's Senior Vice President for Technology, and this was the topic, like AI and what it is doing for us. The thing I'm saying is, just like I said, everyone should learn it. Everyone should try and understand it. Everyone should, have some sort of interaction with it, or just test it out. And I'm saying that if you don't test it out, if you're not like an early adopter in this thing, you can actually be left behind. And you do not want to be left behind because it is coming. The wave is coming, and it is affecting everything. So I'm seeing it affect a lot in content. Adobe just had an event recently. They are incorporating so many things with AI. If you have an Adobe app, if you use Photoshop, if you use Premiere Pro, anything, they are incorporating AI in this. Everybody says like this kind of thing will take away jobs, but on the contrary, it will actually supplement jobs. It will aid the jobs if you incorporate it, if you learn it. And I think that's my message. Like, try and interact with these platforms. Learn as much as you can about prompts and how to use it and how to incorporate it with what you're doing, because it is coming for real. It is here. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Let me just write on that. So you've talked about how we need to incorporate it into the work we do. So how would you balance, for a content creator, how would you balance originality, creativity, and using AI? How would you go about? Is there like a fine mix, or is it just fine to just use the tools and not have to think about anything?
So when early this year, I spoke with, I did a thing where I said I wanted to speak with content creators. So I gave them a link and asked people to fill it. There were like 700 people that filled that form. And I had a call one-on-one with 50 people. And I asked them, like, what do you want to know about content creation? What do you want to know about this industry? Like, why do you even care to become a content creator? And the thing I'm seeing from everyone is, first of all, people are scared to appear in front of the camera, and that is a legitimate fear. Like I was afraid. Um, Although like I'm the only one in my room with my camera, so it doesn't feel like I'm talking to like a large audience. But I don't know how to imagine 700,000 people in a space, which is the amount of subscribers we have. But what I'm saying is, when I ask this question and I talk to everyone, there's also the aspect of originality, like ourselves. Like there's only one you. There's only one person that would wear a turtleneck and say, without further ado, welcome to, let's get into the video. There's only going to be that unique thing about you, and there's also your story, which is what content creation is. You are telling a story, you are helping people understand a topic, you are giving some kind of value, whether it's entertainment value with funny content, whether it's educative value with what Coyote is doing, what I'm doing, where I'm explaining like the Nigerian economy, where I'm explaining like talking about tech. So think about it like you have an audience. The content creation business is an audience business in the end. You are you are sort of talking to your tribe, you are sort of talking to these people, and you are like helping them to see where you come from on a topic, where you come from on an idea, and that is what it is. It is just, in a way, a personal brand. You are helping people to relate to how you think about something while giving them the value of understanding that topic or laughing or getting inspired. So those are the kind of values. So I always say, like, think about the audience, think about the value that they are going to get from the piece of content that you are making, and then that will be like the thing that you will be known for. I think that in the first 4 years, I started making tech videos. Then I started making videos on the Nigerian economy, personal finance, and we started interviewing business leaders and all of these people. And my goal is just, I want people to come to my channel or to my platforms or to any of my videos and leave better than they came, because every content will make them more educated, every content will make them, at least learn something. And that's how like I think everybody should think about it. And you can now use AI to sort of boost that, to ask it like, how can I think of this topic in a different way? Instead of asking it to give you an answer and then you regurgitate that verbatim, don't do that. Like, use it to explore different channels that a topic can go through. Use it to explore different ways that you can attack a subject matter, and use it to like maybe even schedule stuff, like how best should I arrange this thing. But you will be the one giving that value, because that is why the audience is there. The audience came for what you have, and you are the only you. You are unique, and you have your own ideas and the way you think, and that is sort of what you want to project, how you see the world and how you think people should benefit from what you are talking about. Yeah.
Right, fantastic. So in summary, use AI to like explore options, brainstorm, and then always bring you to the table. Don't just regurgitate whatever AI is saying. Fantastic. All right, thank you very much. Back to you, Kayode. So what skills would you say current media professionals should focus on currently and in the future in an AI-driven world?
Okay, thank you for that. And I think Fisayo did fantastic work just walking us through that process. So I started with a good part of the story, right? Show you how well AI can help our work. But I have to be very honest with you. It's sort of like a battle right now. There's still a battle. As Fisayo said, there's still a lot of fact-checking that goes into the use of AI, particularly for journalists. And I'll give you a simple example. So there was this incident, and I think I shared it with you, Ayo. There was this incident, and I asked AI to write a headline, like a headline for it. So I put the story in, and AI responded by saying, listen to this. By the way, what happened was something very little. It wasn't a big deal, but AI went ahead to say, a nation on the brink. Disaster. I'm not sure I said anarchy looms or something like that. But I'm like, wait a minute, no, that's not what's happening here. Right, so first skill is eternal vigilance. I think we say that a lot, but we have to be very vigilant. And as journalists, I think we do that a lot. We always ask questions, and then we don't trust everybody. I trust my wife, but I don't trust any other person aside that, because I'm a journalist, right? So eternal vigilance is one skill that we need to develop. Secondly, is also be open-minded. It's a tricky one. You have to be very vigilant and open-minded at the same time because these tools are there to actually make your work easy or easier. So imagine you're reporting on the field, right? And you have a tool that transcribes immediately and breaks the news. You're still on the field, you're not in the newsroom just yet. And you're recording a video, so back end in the newsroom, they're getting it live, they're transcribing it, and the breaking news is on. Now, the flip side is AI might not really know what the buzzword or the keyword to look out for. Okay, so you could be speaking with the president, and the president says, well, this morning I had eggs and yam for breakfast. And AI thinks, oh, that's something to break. And he breaks it, or at least highlights that. But what we actually want to hear is how you are going to fix the price of petrol and food. You get what I'm saying? So again, that shows you have to train AI, which is a skill we also have to learn as journalists. Not every journalist is a tech journalist, right? Yes, we report a lot of things, but we're not really tech people that way. So I think at the heart of it also is we need to develop tech skills at the basic level, maybe not go into coding as much, but learn those skills so you're able to interact with it, train it. And I should say that I think journalists will be at the forefront of this revolution. We've always been at the forefront of the revolution, I should say. We've been using AI since, right? We've been using AI to push content out there, know what the audience wants, the algorithm, know the kind of content to suggest to you. Maybe we see when you come to our website, you're always looking for tech stuff. So once you're done reading the tech story, the next thing you see is a suggestion, read about this tech thing. So we've been using it. Even Microsoft Word, for example, I know there's a debate around whether the spell check on Microsoft Word is AI powered, but it's actually AI powered because I think it was developed using Lisp. Lisp was developed by, what's his name now? The fathers of AI. How many people know the fathers of AI here? Alan
The Y
Turing
Combinator guy.
and John McCarthy. Right? Wait a minute. Oh, there's like a Messi Ronaldo thing with AI. So who's the father of AI? McCarthy. John McCarthy. So he developed Lisp that was then used by, I think, one of his schools to develop the spell check for Microsoft. But the point I'm trying to make is we've always used this thing. So as a journalist, I put my story on Microsoft Word, so I see the spellings that are wrong or put it on Grammarly and stuff. So we've always been at the forefront of this. So we'll play a major role in this. So the skills, as I said earlier on, vigilance, tech skills, knowing how to train AI appropriately, which is why you need the tech skills. And I could go on and on, but let me stop here. Thank you.
Quite insightful. All right, so my next question is in a slightly different line, and it's about misinformation, disinformation, right? And what we can do. And just to give some context, you have the closed source companies like the OpenAIs, Anthropic, and the likes, right, who are at the front end of innovation in this space, right? But you also have the open source guys like Meta, right, who are making these things free for everybody to use and anybody to adapt and adjust, right? And so, unlike several years ago where it was difficult to run AI models or to get access to these things, it's just very easy, right? With commodity software, commodity hardware, you can run things. And so what that means is that bad actors are going to jump on this and start to use it massively, right? So over the past few years, we've been hearing a lot about deepfakes. And we've been seeing deepfakes, right? You have different disinformation rings on, the likes of Twitter, Facebook, where all they're doing is putting out false political information to influence elections and people's decisions, right? So what I'm basically saying is, and interestingly, I used to think this was just outside of the country until you put out a post, which I saw some months back, where someone had used your video, had trained an AI model, and used your video to sell, I can't remember what, some drugs or something, or some investment scheme that was false, right? And then it dawned on me that, wow, this is now in Nigeria, right? So how do we, as journalists or as, citizens, how can we combat disinformation and like what can we do, to combat it? And Fisayo, please feel free to also respond if you have anything after Kayode to that question, if you have anything. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay. First, yes, they use my video to sell different things, even performance enhancement drugs, right? And like, come on, you should have the fear of God, right? You can use it to sell hypertension drugs and investment schemes, but not these things. And it was a major issue because I had someone in government call me, a major person in government, called me after my show and said, Coyote, hi, thank you for the work you're doing. I'm like, thank you. And he says, you see that hypertension drug you talked about? I really want it because I'm hypertensive. Someone you probably would know. And says, I really want it. I love the way you talked about it and I'm sure it will work for me. And I go, no, that wasn't me. And he was arguing with me. Like, it was you. I'm like, no, it wasn't me. It went back and forth until I had to put out a disclaimer because I don't want people to see me on the street and then beat me up because they got into some investment scheme that failed because they saw me. So it's really crazy. So that's why I did. And then I had to invite Fisayo on the show. And Fisayo introduced me to this other AI tool. Do you remember the name?
Hey Jen. Hey Jen.
Hey Jen. Which I forgot to unsubscribe, so they billed me the second month. And my wife calls and says, Coyote, what's going on? I'm like, I'm sorry, blame Fisayo. But we had to then do that and combat the fake news. By the way, she didn't blame me, she still blamed me, so you're safe. So we had to do that to combat fake news. First thing I think we should all, the skill we should all have is eternal vigilance yet again. Ask questions. When you see things that seem too good to be true, ask questions. And I think we are responsible. The same way they say we're responsible for either bad governance or good governance, is the same with AI. We are responsible at the end of the day. The onus is on you and I to check and recheck and check and recheck again. So that's on the one hand. In terms of government, I can't say much about that. I know there's the AI collective and stuff, but I'm not sure there's a lot of work. But the other bit of this is the platforms. So during that period, it was on Facebook, it was on games. So we had to reach out to some of these platforms. And sometimes you just got some sort of stonewall, like no response at all. Because sometimes they make it seem as though it's not our fault, right? These people are running ads. We're not meant to be the ones to then verify their ads. They pay for a service and they can put anything. But after a while, I think some fact-checking organizations fact-checked it, and the platforms then picked it up and said and flagged it and said, well, this has been fact-checked to be wrong. But then those people went on mobile games as well. So I think platforms have a major role to play. They have a major role to play in ensuring that deepfakes are flagged on time. Sometimes they are pulled down 2 weeks after when it's done a lot of damage. So for us, we have a lot of work to do as individuals and as tech people to also educate others. The video I did, thanks to Fisayo, well, speaking French, the video went so far that they were training organizations. Organizations were using it to train staff that if you see me and I say sign something, don't sign it. Call me to confirm, right? So that was one. I had people sending it to their family members in rural areas. And there was a particular mother who came through her son, by the way, and said, wow, these people are wicked. They'll say they can use me. And, she thought it was diabolical, right? But it was good because she had the information. So the onus is on you and I to also educate people. So eternal vigilance is important. We can never really get to the end of this, but we can at least shine our eyes to ensure that we don't fall for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Very, very, very insightful. So let's always fact check. There's something I always like to say, always do a 2FA. Whenever you get, for example, if you get a call to send some money, find a way to do a 2FA, either through an email or something. Just always find a way to check. Because in the world we live in, you have deep fakes. Anything can be easily faked, and you don't want to run into trouble. All right, so Fisayo, I'd just like to find out for content creators, right? What are some key AI trends you think they need to be familiar with? So you already talked about video generation and all that. Are there any other trends that the average content creator needs to be conversant with to help their work?
So I think from the basic one, it would be maybe captioning. So there's AI in captions for videos. That would save you a lot of time. You don't have to manually type out your captions. Adobe has AI. I think CapCut is a video editing app that has AI generated captions. You might just need to edit a few things, but that's like on the basic level. You can use ChatGPT obviously for just like I said, like ideas and how to approach ideas, but not necessarily the actual content that you want to put out there, because you still have to have you in that content. And again, like when it comes to content creation, I always say like you want to be able to do something or focus on a niche or an area that you are deeply interested in, something that you are passionate about, but it's something that you are deeply interested in. You can talk about it for hours on end without getting tired. And I always like advocate for, you know, going for something, doing it to the very excellent, like best of your abilities, just going all out on it. So, using like those chat GPT and things like that. And what we're using also, we use HeyGen as well to, I mean, apart from the fact that we use it to create content, we can also use it to make content that is multilingual in like another language, and also share it with people that may not necessarily be able to see certain things. So we were testing that out as well, and we actually tried that. There are other platforms, there are other AI tools, but I think I wouldn't necessarily get bogged down on it. I would say still learn it, still study it, still understand all these platforms, but use these basic ones and try and incorporate it. What is going to happen is Sora is coming, is the video generator AI thing. If you don't know about Sora, you can actually just check openai.com/Sora. That's Sora. It's going to be launching very soon, and maybe I might be making a video about it. Maybe. Um, yeah. Anyway, it's a spoiler alert, but so that is coming, and I think it is very fascinating as well. There are other video generating platforms, but this one will be able to generate like drone shots or areas or certain things that you may not have necessarily guessed, or may not have necessarily been able to capture, or you would have to license or something like that. So those are some platforms I would recommend, or like try to like say you can use. But in the end, nothing really beats like the originality of your storytelling, and everything really boils down to the content itself. Like, what is the message you're trying to pass across? What is the value that you're trying to give? And like I said, my value, what I'm doing is to educate people, to help them see something better than it was, in simple language, in easy to understand, videos, well edited videos. And you should always like prioritize that and use AI to just raise it up a little bit. I was going to share something.
Okay,
So
please go ahead.
it was talking about deepfakes. So
And you have always wanted a car of your own, but you have never been able to afford it. And you want to go from not having a car all your life to driving a new car every year, then listen closely. This is a 300 million naira Mercedes-Benz E-Class, and it's my first car ever in my life. And I was able to afford it through this group that I'm showing you right now. I've made enough money to afford this car from this group, and you can do the same as well. All you have to do is click on the link and get the updates, and you can thank me later.
so that's not my voice. But there are AI platforms that can actually clone my voice. And this was a promoted post on Instagram for a while. Like, it was promoted for I think almost a month. So people were I didn't know, because Instagram like hides messages from people that are not following me. So people were sending me this video and asking like why. And then somebody actually sent me a message and was like cursing me, like, God will punish you. I invested $200 in this thing. I need my $200 back now. So replied her, and I was like, how far? I'm so sorry. Like, what happened? And then it was this same video. And I then went to check, and there were like 4 people that had sent me this video. Unfortunately, I couldn't do a disclaimer because the video was well done, honestly. Like, they tried. It's just that they didn't get the accents well. And if they did, that would just be worse. So just like I said, like always question everything. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I was going to ask one, I mean, let me just ask one last question. So you talked about Sora, right? And you just talked about this. So with this, the accent wasn't so great. It didn't sound like, with Sora, one of the promo videos they did, and I don't know if you saw it, it was Lagos in 2056. And it looked nothing like Lagos in 2056, right? It looked like some village. I mean, they tried. If they said it was Lagos today, yeah, I mean, but not Lagos in 2056. I mean, God forbid. So, so the point I'm trying to make is, do you think there is a need for local or localized models? Obviously, it has its risks because that deep fake would have been more convincing. But if we look at the upsides, would you say there is a need for, and Kayode, you can also respond to this after Fisaya, would you say there's a need for it?
So I think that these types of things they exist because imagine this. I was speaking to someone from the U.S. State Department about AI. So I did this thing. If you've been following, if you've been following my videos for the past month, the U.S. state government invited me to the U.S. to speak to tech companies, people in AI. So we spoke to an AI lawyer, we spoke to an AI investor, we spoke to the Boston government, who is investing in AI. They are hiring people in the government to train to take the laws, their 1,000-page laws, put it in AI platforms so that people can go there and summarize it. We spoke to Boston Dynamics using AI in robots. We spoke to NASA. We spoke to Cloudflare. All these guys. It gave me a very, very, very deep understanding of what these large companies are actually doing. And these things like this, they exist because they should sort of help us maybe cut the time short. So if I made a mistake in a video and there's no way I can re-record it, I can actually just take that part and voice over, and it will be as if I said it. So that way I save time. I don't have to go and invest in the lighting, renting the camera, doing everything, and reshooting that scene. I can just clone that aspect and say it. It can just be like a 5-second bit. That way I've saved a lot of time, and it doesn't. People may not necessarily notice it. People may notice it. I watched a video that was completely done in German, but he used HeyGen to translate it into English, and that video has like millions of views, and you will not notice it unless you are looking at like certain. Maybe if the hand crosses over the mouth, it might show that it's AI, but they cut those scenes so well, it felt like it was all done in English, in their voice, and that was like very amazing. HeyGen is very expensive, but they are one of the best ones. So all these platforms, they sort of exist to help us cut that time short, aid the work. However, like speaking to the US State Department, the lady there, and she was like, this thing is not, people are employing these tools so that they can cut time short, replace themselves, they don't have to record it. But at the same time, like, we just, again, and when she said it, I was just like so happy that it came from someone like that. We have to actually learn these platforms, learn how they work, because that's the only way we can tell. If I didn't use HeyGen, there was no way I would know that that video was done with HeyGen. And I knew because when the hand crosses the mouth, it shows that it was digitally altered. So those are like the telltale signs. But if you actually learn these platforms and understand how they work, you will be able to tell quickly. And that way you can actually be saving a bunch of people and letting them know that, hey guys, this is actually fake or this is not true. And AI is like rampant, like a lot. They use it for scams a lot. This is not the first time they're using my image for scams or my videos. They've done it multiple times. There's a group on Telegram that has 20,000 members that is using my image and my videos, and I had no idea. These people were making a lot of money. They made like almost 200 million. I'm serious. They've made a lot of money, and it was because of like them using my image. It was like a group. They were trading some kind of weird stuff, and then I saw it. I reported it. Nothing was done. They had a lot of members, and it's not just one group. If you check Telegram, like there's multiple. So I had to now create my own, and had to like this is the official group. And I'm trying to even maybe if I can get that verified or something. But these exist. But if you can learn these platforms and actually understand it, you will be able to detect and this is a scam. Don't interact with this and warn other people.
Wow, fantastic. All right, thank you very much. Can we just put our hands together for them? Really insightful and really amazing. So we come to the end of the panel session.